And we're back with more Hearthstone Masters Tour Arlington. Another game to bring you here from the trail end of round number 8 here in Swiss Play. We've got a game 5 actually coming in between Brimful and GivePLZ.
Yes.
Should be interesting. Game 5 is always exciting.
It should indeed. I believe we are right on the cusp of going into our crucial final round here, but we do just have a little more time needed, so we're trying to bring you as much coverage as we possibly can. Of course, going into a game 5 here, it's about as crucial as it can get, because this is the point where we saw Impact, for example, pick up a win, and he was blessed by the commentators by saying, well, he's almost certainly locked in now with that result. So this is really the crunch time point of the competition where you can start to be locking up your top 8 positions if you are right towards the top of those standings.
And our two competitors getting ready for what will be the final game of their series. GivePLZ 6-1, and we'll see what decks they're using here. Looks like it's going to be the Holy Paladin versus the good old Embiggen Druid, coming out from Brimful.
Indeed, a matchup that I'm very curious about, because I think if people, we did see a little influx of the Holy Wrath Paladin coming into this tournament that some people weren't quite expecting. Right. I imagine this is a matchup that you at least have to be paying some attention to when you bring a deck like Holy Wrath Paladin, because you are expecting it to be so common. And I believe most of the people who have brought Holy Wrath Paladin to the tournament have been on ban rogue strategies, which means that the Druid will be being left up for them. So curious as to whether it can perform in this matchup as people were clearly expecting it to.
I think for Paladin, it comes down a lot to, how efficiently can you use your removals, right?
Yes.
Because later in the game, there's just going to be more and more and more big minions, and unless you have ways to get rid of everything, you're going to struggle a little bit. Yeah,
it's where timeouts become very crucial, and weirdly, doing nothing becomes crucial. There are times with this deck as Paladin where your opponent might have 8 or 9 damage on board, something like that, maybe just low double figures, and you sometimes as a Paladin have to say, you know what, go on and hit me. Like, you are allowed to hit me with this much damage. This is not worth using one of my removals. And the more like resource heavy and mid-rangey a deck is, the more often you have to do that sometimes.
Well, the thing to always keep in mind is that life is a resource, just like mana is a resource, and the health of your minions are resources too. Like, all of this is currency that you spend to try to eventually win the game, And you can't be afraid to take damage sometimes, such as right now.
Yeah, I think this True Silver Champion might end up being a super crucial card in the matchup, just because it can control the mid-game just that little bit without you having to commit real removal spells to the situation. So loving seeing that if you are a GivePLZ fan.
So another Embiggen comes through. And he's going to coin into that Explorer to see what dragon it finds for him. Gets to finish the strength in numbers as well, and
it was a 9-8 that came out, I can tell you that much.
It was double Embiggened. So it would be the evasive Feywing, yeah. Not bad. Strong board already. Turn 5 and already 4-8 and a 9-8 on the board for Druid.
You like my invention?
Zephyrus. Going to be coming in handy a little bit later. And you mentioned sometimes you just want to let them hit you, and this is an opportunity to do just that.
Yeah.
But man, second strength in numbers already activated for Brimful.
Yep. This is an incredibly powerful start from Brimful here. And like I said, this was about the area I was talking about, low teens, where sometimes you can say, just go ahead and hit me. Ideally, you don't want them to be doing it on turn 5. That's not quite the plan as far as the Paladin is concerned. So this is now getting very scary very quickly for GivePLZ.
Timeout comes in, and it may already be time for that, actually, as there is 13 damage threatening on the board right now. 14, I guess, if you include the hero power.
Right.
He's going to draw, gets a baleful banker, rather, and yeah, I think you do need to stop here.
One shot, one.
All right. It worked against Smaug, but not against the Emerald Explorer. The single arrows thing I'm talking about. There's the swipe, though, so...
Can someone please tweet me with exactly how many Lord of the Rings references Doa has made?
Or up to a few.
These 2 days?
Yeah.
You think you've hit double figures yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
High.
Right.
Single figures.
Sometimes while casting with Doa, if they're in low double figures, you just have to say, like, go ahead and hit me, and you just don't do anything about it.
I mean, the matches I cast with TJ, I don't even remember anymore. Like, it was a blur of Lord of the Rings references, so it could have been a lot there.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, GivePLZ staring at this board with very little way to interact with it. No equality in hand, only 3 mana remaining off the draw. Has not found a solution to this problem.
Yeah, that's
Crystal Smith Kangor, Flash of Light, too expensive. Not seeing it.
Yeah, the no Pyromancer play, and he sees it too. Just no way to get around that, and that was an extremely fast Game 5 for Brimful to take it with the Embiggen Druid, and well, that's a Embiggen Druid at its pretty much peak. We didn't see any Breath of Dreams, but that was one of the rare games where you didn't really need it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes the deck so powerful, is that there's so many different combinations that can create those insane power spikes.
Right.
So we've seen the Breath of Dreams kind of old school Ramp Druid style, where they just have more mana than you all the time and can play bigger things than you.
Right.
That's the other side of the equation, where they just buffed their deck with the Embiggen, and then with it, he hit both side quests. So he was able to just generate a huge board out of nowhere for a very unfairly small amount of mana.
Yeah,
cheating mana is the most powerful thing you can do in Hearthstone. It always is.
13, 14 mana worth of free stuff that he just got on the board towards the end of it. It's obscene. But anyway, it results in a very, very fast Game 5, and it does result in a win for Brimful, which will help him move closer to possibly showing up on day number 3. But yeah, I think already, I feel like we just got back, but I guess we're going to take a break, and I believe we're moving on to the crucial, the final round number 9 after we come back, so do not go anywhere. It gets intense, even more intense when we come back here on Hearthstone Masters Tour in Arlington, Texas. See you then.
Hearthstone Masters Tour Arlington is brought to you by T-Mobile. Rank up with America's first and only nationwide 5G network.